Hey, what's up guys? So today I'm going to talk about the things that I love about the Cobra. I made a video just before this on the things that I just didn't like about it. Not hate, but just things I just didn't really like about it because it's kind of hard to hate the car. So, but let's say probably number one that I like about the car, that most people like about the car, is obviously the engine. I'll pop the hood for you guys. So from the factory, it's a 32 valve, dual overhead cam, V8. It's factory supercharged. Let's get this open. All right. So it's factory supercharged. It's got forged internals, so it can handle a lot of horsepower. That's what these cars are mainly known for, is the engine. You know, it can handle just a ton of horsepower. You upgrade the supercharger to a different supercharger, and you can get crazy horsepower. So that's probably one of the things that I definitely love about the car, and that most people love about the car as well, is obviously the engine. The second thing that I really like about the car, and this will kind of be two separate things, but I love the T56 transmission, the Tremec that comes in this car. Insanely precise shifting. Feels great, shifts all the time. Like you never get locked out of the gear. If you do, it's because of the clutch. That's what happened to me, is with the old clutch from second to third shift, I would hit a wall and it wouldn't let me in. So after I upgraded the Mcleod Rst twin disc clutch, I've had no problems and I can shift as fast as possible now. Now after switching the clutch, I really like this transmission. So, and it's a very, very beefy transmission, can handle a lot of horsepower. So the second part about that is the Mcleod Rst Clutch that I had put in. Obviously you guys can't see it, but my pedal pressure is so light now. Or let me see if I can push it with my hand. So guys who already know Cobras know that you can never do this with a stock clutch. Not even close, pushing it with your hand. So it's still stiff. It's probably heavier than like the Fiesta ST. That's got a pretty light clutch, but this is probably about a medium clutch, I would say. Definitely light, but it bites really well too, and it's good for, I think, I want to say 850, somewhere around there, torque at the crank. So I'm well clear of that. So yeah, that's probably the second thing that I love about this car is the transmission. And it's a top loader style transmission. And if you don't know what that is, basically, on a lot of cars, they have the shifters like kind of more back here, and they have linkages that then control the inside of the transmission, where this is a top loader style transmission. So this linkage is directly changing the linkage inside the transmission, or changing the gears inside the transmission. So that's why it's such a positive feel. I mean, you're directly connected there without any type of linkages or anything like that. So that's probably another reason why I really like it. There's no looseness or anything, and it's real nice feeling. So, all right. So probably we'll say the third thing that I really like about this car is I like the size of it. Now I've driven, So I've driven the new Mustangs, the 2015 and ups. I've driven the years before that, the 07s to the 14s. I've driven 05 to 14, sorry. I've driven all those, and I've driven the Camaros, all those cars, and I just like how small this car is and feels. When you're inside of it, it's got a smaller car feel, where the other cars are wider, and you can kind of feel that width. So having a smaller car, which I just really like, having a smaller style car. So that's probably I think that's the third thing. I'm not good at keeping track here, but that's probably the third thing that I really like is the size of the car. It's not a very big car; it's kind of a smaller car. So the fourth thing that kind of goes with the size is just the looks of the car. I think most people like the look of the Terminators, and this is definitely my favorite looking Mustang out there. I just love the rear bumper, the spoiler. The only thing I changed out as far as aesthetics go is the wheels. I swapped them out for some 18-inch Celine wheels. The stock wheels are 17-inch, and it looks a little better with 18s. But I love the front bumper, looks good to me too. I like what they did with the mirrors. They had a body colored mirrors. They just kind of really did the side skirts. They did a nice job. I just think they did a really nice job on the styling on the car. So that's the fourth thing I love about it, which most people probably like that as well, is the styling. So, all right. So the fifth thing that I love about the Cobra is the independent rear suspension. So if you don't know, all the other Mustangs of this generation, or of the at least 0304, this is the only one to have the independent rear suspension. All the other cars had the solid axle. And I love the way the IRS handles. Handles a lot nicer than the stick axle. My buddy Bruce, who owns Full Tilt Boogie Racing, he kind of explained the difference between the IRS and the stick axle on basically when you're going around a corner, the IRS is more forgiving and you have a bigger window of being in control and out of control, where the stick axle there's a lot smaller window. So you probably have to be a better driver to drive a stick axle car, and I think that's partially why all the guys in the Mustangs are crashing, is because you got to be probably a better driver, and obviously most of those guys at the car shows, wherever they flooring it around corners with their street tires. So that's the main thing, is get good tires, don't floor it around corners, and you'll be okay, and let off if you're starting to spin crazy. So sorry, a little off topic. But yeah, so the IRS, I like the way it's a very smooth riding car with the independent rear suspension in it. It has its issues as far as having rubber bushings from the factory, but I fixed that with the whole Full Tilt Boogie Racing IRS bushing kit. So really I don't have to worry about that now anymore. And I have got sticky tires now too. So that's probably leads me into the sixth thing I love about the car, is I love the tires I went with. I went with the Toyo R888s, and these are the stickiest tires I've ever had on the car, and I just love the way they look. I love the tread pattern on them. I don't know if you guys can see it on the video, but I just love the tread pattern on them. And I went with 315s in the back, and I can, when it's warm, it's got to still be warm. These aren't the best tires when it's cold, but when they're warm, first I can hook in first gear, which is just awesome. Where before I couldn't hook in first gear at all. So that's probably the sixth thing I love about the car, is my wheels and tires that I put on the car. So obviously not a stock thing, but definitely what I like. So probably we'll talk about the seventh thing I like about the car, is how raw it is. So what I mean by raw is most of the newer cars, like I drove a GT350, and that car was awesome. That felt more like a luxury car that obviously can handle really well and is fast and everything, which is all good. But this car, I don't know, you just feel everything. And by everything, I mean you feel all the bumps. It's not like a super well insulated car. I have solid aluminum differential bushing, so I hear the gear noise in the rear differential. It's just like a different experience. You just kind of feel more one with the car, because you feel everything. It's just more, like I said, just more raw. And I really like that factor about the car. It feels a little faster because of that too. You kind of just feel everything. But just personal preference for me. That's what I really like. That's why I really like this car. Is it's raw. It's loud. It's not the best, weekend cruiser car that you could take down on a road trip. I mean, you could, but you're going to be way more comfortable in a GT350 than you would be in something like this. So, but just kind of give and take. If you want a luxurious car that you could drive every single day, and it's going to be it's going to be like driving a BMW type style car. Definitely the 350 is more along those lines, but this is more of a raw car. So yeah, those are the things that I really like about the Terminator Cobra. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. That helps me. And if you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And subscribe for more videos. And I want to know what's your favorite part about the 0304 Cobras? Leave that down in the comments below. So I will see you. Thanks for watching anyway. And I will see you guys in the next video.